Okay, so everybody's got their scoreboard and you're ready to start. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our paper to the landscape position, and you're going to score it at, you're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, 4.5, 6.5, and then you're going to turn your paper and make a score mark at 3/4 of an inch on this side of the paper. To me, that's always just the easiest way to get it done. Then turn your paper into the portrait position. You're going to score at 2 inches, and you're going to score at 6.5 inches. Okay, and so once you've done that, can you see the grid? I was trying to find paper so you could see the little grid that's made. Alright, so here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Okay, and what you're going to do, and I don't use my scoreboard for this because I never can get it lined up. So what you're going to do in each one of the small little panels here, you'll have a little thin section in the middle, which is the bottom of your box, and then you have these 2 big squares on the outside. So you're going to mark off 2 inches from your score marks, where your score marks intersect. So what I do is I just make a little dot at 2 inches so that I know where the 2-inch mark is. And then I go to the other side and I do the same thing with my ruler. And that's just because on the scoreboard, when I try to score things at an angle, I usually mess it up. Now, it's very important when you make this 2-inch score mark that you line it up right at the junction of those 2 score lines, that you get your score mark is straight and even on both sides. It has to be right at that junction, because if it isn't, your box won't fold properly. So that's why that's so important, so that it'll really give me a good, clean, crisp fold. Okay, I have to do this the other way because my ruler has that little place on the end. Okay, there. And sorry about that. I'm sure those of you who use the scoreboard are already done, but I'm a little slow and I prefer to do it this way so that my project comes out and it's really squared. And then I get it right at the joint of those 2 score lines so that I have a nice fold on my box. Okay, so do that again on both sides and make sure that you get a good score and that it's 2 inches out. Okay, alright, so once you get that, and this paper is very difficult to see, but you're going to fold, and I have one that I've folded already that you can see. Where you made the little angle score marks, you're going to fold those in so that you make a fold like this. Okay? Let me hold it up so you can see it. You see that? You see that? Just fold it in right there. That's a good angle. You see that fold? And so you're going to do that on both sides. That will make your square. That forms the square for your box. So when you have your paper down like this is what it should look like. You should have that little bubble like in the middle. If you fold all those sides in, see, that's one side. You fold this up, and that's the other side. So that is going to give you the shape for your box. And so then you want to start taping your box down so that it will hold its shape. So what I do, I use Scor-Tape because you really want something strong to hold it down. And I use the 1/4-inch Scor-Tape. So you can tell the places where you want to put Scor-Tape. You want to put Scor-Tape along, on these edges here, and along this edge. You want to put a piece of Scor-Tape. Okay. You want to put Scor-Tape along the edge of this fold. And it folds down because you don't want it to come up. So take your Scor-Tape and go along this edge right here. Good on. And the other edge. Right here. Yep. Go like that. And so let's do this one side so you can see how that folds down. And let me turn this. So can you see that? You see the score tape, how it's placed, so that when you fold this down, it's going to hold in place. Now, I also put score tape on the inside edges here to hold my box together. So just go on the inside of that fold and add your score tape there and on the other side. So we need to do that all around on all sides. I'm trying to keep up with my time. I think my video runs out at 10 minutes and I'm close to that now, so I may have to do a part 2 after I watch this and see how long it runs. Okay, so I'm going to hurry up and put down my other tape. And like I said, don't use snail glue, or use a very strong adhesive so that your box will stay together. Alright, and there we go. Go there. Another piece. Oops. Another piece there. And then your 2 pieces on the outside of your box. Okay. And then we can start to take this tape off and we can really start to construct our box. I'm going to put that piece down first. Pull this side off, put that down, make sure I've got a good seal on that, and then I'm going to do my, oops, probably should have pulled the top off. You might want to pull the top off first and think about if I seal that down, I'm not going to be able to get in here. Okay, so pull your inside tapes off together and seal that down. Oh, the score tape always sticks when I'm trying to do something in a hurry. I'm trying to get this done because one of the ladies at Scraps of Color asked me if I could show how this is done. And there's a step-out tutorial, but I think it's always easier, at least it is for me, but that's because I'm slow. But it's easier for me if I can actually see a video of someone doing it and I can do it at the same time that they're doing it. And let's see, I'm trying really quickly to get this tape out of here. Okay. And I've got one more piece that's hiding here. Ta-da! Oops. And that's out. And then what I do, so there's your box, all secure. And what I do is I just take my bone folder, and I use this little one that comes from the Score-Tape because you can get a really good rub there. And I just go ahead and burnish the areas where I put tape to make sure that my tape is down and secure. And so when you're working on projects like this, you always want to make sure that you reinforce your score lines and that you burnish, anytime you put down score tape, that you burnish it down to make sure you have a good seal. So then you're going to just put your, and you can pinch. What I did with my box, once I had everything done, rather than trying to score it on the inside, I did it after I had everything assembled. I just folded, push the ends in, see, make that little triangle. Much easier to do it once the box is standing up